Michael's 5-word message to Sasha after miscarriage, she couldn't stop crying. General Hospital. At General Hospital, silence settled over Sasha's room like a heavy fog. Only the rhythmic beeping of machines and the muted whispers of nurses in the hallway could be heard. Sasha lay in bed, pale and broken, the weight of her miscarriage crushing her spirit. She had lost her baby. The baby she had fought so hard to protect. The baby who had symbolized hope, second chances, and a future that finally seemed within reach. Michael stood outside the room, frozen. He had arrived too late. He was supposed to be at the prenatal appointment with her, but he had gotten stuck in a last-minute meeting with Ned. Now, guilt gnawed at him, because maybe, just maybe, his presence could have changed something. Sasha's eyes were fixed on the ceiling. Tear stains marked her cheeks. Her hands, trembling and clenched around the hospital blanket, were a stark contrast to the stillness of the room. When Michael finally walked in, he saw the truth before a word was spoken. Her eyes flickered toward him, filled with pain that no words could adequately express. Michael approached slowly. "Sasha, I came as soon as I heard." Sasha turned her face away, not out of anger, but because looking at him felt like looking into a future that had just been ripped away. The baby wasn't just hers. It was theirs. "I was alone," she whispered. Her voice was dry, cracked. Michael's eyes filled with tears. "I'm sorry. I should have been here." "You weren't," she said bluntly but without venom. "Just pain. Raw, unfiltered pain." She didn't want to blame him, but her heart was splintered. Michael had stood by her through addiction, through mental health struggles, through their on-and-off relationship. But in the one moment that mattered the most, he hadn't been there. "I lost her," Sasha said, choking back sobs. "I felt it. I knew she was gone before the doctor said it. I could feel it." Michael moved to her side and gently took her hand. "You don't have to go through this alone." But Sasha let go. "I already am." Later that evening, Maxie stopped by briefly, offering flowers and a soft embrace, and then slipped away. Brooke Lynn texted but didn't come. Nina tried to visit, but Sasha had asked the nurses to turn her away. The only person she didn't protest was Michael, yet she still barely spoke to him. They had once dreamed of being a family. Sasha had begun collecting baby clothes. Michael had started reading parenting books again, remembering what it was like with Wiley. "We were supposed to name her Grace," Sasha said suddenly, her voice distant. Michael nodded. "You said she'd bring Grace into the world." "I thought if I stayed clean, if I stayed strong, I'd earn her," Sasha whispered. Michael's jaw clenched. "This wasn't your fault. Don't do that." "But what if it was?" she asked, her eyes sharp and watery. "What if everything I've ever done just caught up with me?" He stood up, pacing. "Don't say that. Don't ever say that." "Then tell me why she's gone," she cried. Michael stood by the window, shoulders stiff. And then he turned to her, eyes glassy but certain. He walked over, kneeled beside her bed, and said the 5 words that shattered her. "She knew you loved her." Sasha's breath caught. Her face twisted as the dam broke and the tears poured freely. She covered her face, sobbing into her hands. Those words, those simple 5 words broke through her guilt, her shame, and her devastation. She knew you loved her. In that moment, it didn't matter how short her baby's life had been, how fleeting her time in Sasha's womb. What mattered was that she had been loved deeply, fiercely. And Michael had reminded her of that. "I did," Sasha wailed. "I loved her so much." Michael held her tightly as she cried against his chest. He let her grief pour out, without trying to stop it or fix it. He knew there was nothing to fix. This pain had to be felt. "She was real," Sasha whispered. "She mattered." "She always will," Michael replied. The next morning, Sasha was discharged. Michael brought her home to the Courtemain mansion, despite her protests. "You need people around you," he said. "Even if you think you don't." Brooke Lynn and Willow made Sasha's room feel like a sanctuary, soft lights, warm blankets, a framed photo of an angel with Grace beneath it. But Sasha struggled. She avoided the nursery she had started building. She couldn't look at baby clothes. When Monica offered to talk to her as both a doctor and a grieving grandmother, Sasha refused. One evening, Sasha stood at the edge of the Courtemain garden, staring at the stars. "She should have been here," she whispered. Michael came up behind her. "I know." Sasha turned to him. "But your words, they haunt me. In a good way." Michael touched her hand. "They're true." Over the next few weeks, Sasha and Michael fell into a silent routine. Not quite lovers. Not quite friends. But bonded in loss. They grieved differently. Michael poured himself into work and Wiley. Sasha painted. She filled sketchbooks with abstract swirls of sorrow and flickers of light. Then came the day Sasha broke her silence during a therapy session and spoke about her baby out loud. Her name was Grace. She was mine. She was loved. It was a breakthrough, but also the beginning of healing, a slow, nonlinear, unpredictable process. Michael was waiting when she came home. She didn't say anything. She simply walked into his arms. Gladys, who had been in rehab herself, surprised Sasha with a letter she had written months ago but never sent. It spoke of strength, of resilience, and the hope that Sasha would one day become a mother again, not to replace the child she lost, but to honor her. Sasha cried reading it, holding the letter close. "I want to plant a tree," she told Michael one evening. "For Grace." They planted it together in Rice Park, with Willow, Wiley, and even Sunny in attendance. Sasha gave a small, trembling speech, "For my daughter, who never got to breathe this world's air, but who gave me the courage to keep breathing mine." Months passed. Sasha slowly regained her footing. She reopened Deception's wellness division. Michael remained by her side, not pushing for a relationship, but always there. One night over tea, Sasha looked at him and asked, "Why did you say those 5 words?" Michael shrugged softly. "Because I needed you to believe what I know is true." Sasha reached for his hand. "I did believe you. And it saved me." Their eyes met, and for the first time since the loss, Sasha smiled.